The gloves are off and Joe Biden and Donald Trump are preparing to go head-to-head in the first presidential debate this week. Will it be a lively intellectual meeting of the minds or a lacklustre gaffe-ridden snooze fest of two old men exchanging insults? Sky News All-Stars Caleb Bond, Paul Murray and Joe Siracusa take a look at the very different preparation styles of Joe Biden and Donald Trump and speculate about who will come out on top. It's debate week, which for Joe Biden and Donald Trump means war. Sky News All-Star Joe Siracusa says it will be as big as the Super Bowl.
Joe, good to see you. The first televised presidential debate between President Joe Biden and Donald Trump is this week, and you'll be able to watch that here on Sky News. How do you think it will go, Joe? Apparently President Biden has disappeared behind closed doors to prepare for it.
Good morning, Kenny. Well, look, it should be a terrific television, as a matter of fact. You know, it's 90 minutes, no notes, no aides, no audience, mute microphone when you're not talking. And so this is an opportunity for the former Vice President Trump and the current Vice President to go toe-to-toe and for the American people to make a decision. I think the last time they were together, about 70 million people watched. So this thing is this is as big as the Super Bowl. This is sort of Grumpy Men 2, Mary's Rocky Balboa, you know, and of course all the pundits are saying that President Trump will go after the man's mental ability.
In light of Joe Biden's endless string of gaffes, the president's preparation is being closely scrutinised by his own party as well as the opposition. Joe Biden has already touched down at Camp David several days before the debate, sparking mockery from conservative commentators and Republicans who say he shouldn't need days of preparation, reveals the Australian's Washington correspondent Adam Crichton.
Let's bring in our first guest, Washington correspondent for the Australian, Adam Crichton. Adam, welcome. Let's kick off with a preview of the highly anticipated presidential debate, of course, between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. We saw Biden arriving at Camp David this week, allegedly for debate prep. What sort of prep do you think he's up to?
Well, look, it's a bit embarrassing, isn't it, to be starting prep so far in advance of the debate. I mean, I think that really says it all. I mean, you'd think as President of the United States and a very experienced politician for many decades that he would not need to start 7 days beforehand. But look, that's a sad reflection of the reality that he's clearly in cognitive decline. That's very clear from numerous videos that the world has now seen multiple times. So it really is make or break, I think, for the president. So in that sense, I can understand why he's starting earlier, because everyone's going to be focusing on his ability.
Instead of preparing for the debate, Donald Trump has chosen to continue campaigning across the country, using his microphone to roast Joe Biden, reveals Sky News All-Star Paul Murray.
Donald Trump, he's not doing much debate prep. If he is, he's doing it in between rallies, because he's saying things like this at a recent rally today in front of tens of thousands of people.
He can fall off the stage. He can fall up the stairs. He falls up from 20,000 feet of paratroopers landing right in front of him. Everybody, all the foreign leaders, they're watching. And he turns around to look at a tree. Right? No. And then they say it was fake. He was fine. And then the press goes along with it. They go along with it.
Now, Biden is currently at Camp David, which, of course, is the rural retreat for the president. That's where he's currently doing his debate prep, as I say. Whether Trump's just not going to do any of it, he's just going to wing it, or he's doing it behind the scenes, we'll all wait and see. But hopefully he brings props with him, because this is how he explains Bidenomics.
And Donald Trump doubled down at another rally, brazenly suggesting the president will be using drugs to help him through the debate.
Is anybody going to watch the debate? He's going to be so pumped up. He's going to be pumped up. You know all that stuff that was missing about a month ago from the White House? What happened? Who left it? Somebody left it there. I wonder, let's see, somebody left a laptop in an office of A gentleman was supposed to fix the laptop from hell. He never picked it up, and somebody didn't pick up hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cocaine. I wonder who that could have been. I don't know. Actually, I think it was Joe.
And as Biden is feverishly preparing, the Democrats are being slammed across the board for calling the debate and allowing the president to participate in light of his spate of recent humiliating gaffes, explains Sky News All-Star Caleb Bond.
Now, the first US presidential debate for the 2024 campaign is Friday Australian time, 11 a.m, hosted by CNN, but you'll be able to watch it here live on Sky News at 11 a.m, and then I'll be hosting the US report at 8 p.m. to pull it all apart, so don't miss any of that. And it'll be interesting to see how it goes, given, of course, that this was Biden in the last couple of weeks alone.
Homeland Security Secretary, I'm not sure going to do so away.
Now, of course, the White House is now claiming that these clips are cheap fakes and deep fakes. I mean, Kel, mate, if he is not juiced up to the eyeballs on Friday morning, I'll go heifer.
He will be.
And Caleb Bond doubled down, saying Joe Biden's brain is mashed potato, despite the Democrats trying to gaslight everyone into thinking the president is cognitively fit.
That the bloke is an ageing chump with mashed potato for brains, and the Democrats don't want you to see that, and if you do, they want you to believe it's a cheap fake or a deep fake. By the way, here's another real deep fake video.
Sky News commentator Lucy Zelick agrees, slamming the Democrats for putting the president up for the debate.
Can I ask a serious question? Are the Democrats really that stupid to put him up for a debate? I mean, have they got a secret rabbit in their hat that we don't know about?
They've got an injection they give him. They've got an injection they give him.
By this.
On the State of the Union address, he was apparently reasonable for 60 minutes. They need to give him a larger dose because this is 90 minutes.
There's some concoction, I'll tell you that.
I don't know how they... Remember the 2020 presidential debates? Everyone expected him to fall over.
He did a lot better than I thought. I remember that.
He was suddenly hyped up because it's only a short period of time.
But that's 4 years later, Kel.
The debate structure has been a large focus of the conversation this time around, with Adam Crichton saying it will be fairly boring due to the new rules.
I mean, the debate itself is, at least I think, going to be fairly boring because of the structure and the rules that have been agreed. So the mics are going to be turned off when the other person is not meant to be speaking, so there'll be no interjections, there'll be no back and forth, there's no studio audience. So I think, that all makes for a pretty boring debate. And also, I should say, Robert F. Kennedy, who's, polling 10-12%, is not allowed in the debate, which I think is pretty outrageous. I mean, 10% of the US electorate's a lot of millions of people. So I mean, I'm a bit disappointed with that. I think it's fairly anti-democratic, but I think all the emphasis, like I said, is going to be on Biden and how he performs next Thursday night.
Sky News All-Star Kosher Garda agrees, saying the new format benefits Joe Biden.
Trump and Biden campaigns, now they've agreed on the rules. I find this fascinating. A 90-minute debate. The candidates' microphones will be muted. I wonder who that's for. And there'll be no audience and no props on the stage and in the studio. I think that's probably designed for Joe, don't you?
I think not having the live studio audience certainly mutes one of the competitive advantages of Trump, because he tends to feed off the energy of crowds for sure. But he also has a lot of other competitive advantages in general, and certainly as it compares to Joe Biden. One is that he's very used to and actually thrives in adversarial situations, whether it's with a hostile media or with other adversaries or judges in courtrooms and all of that. And the second is he really does have a genuine constituency. Love him or hate him, he actually has real organic support at scale. And I think everybody would agree that does not seem to be the case on the other side. And so even if those people are not in the room in a studio audience, he can channel that. He's battle tested, he's road tested, he can think quickly on his feet. And I think he'll do just fine. He'll probably be fighting 1-on-2 because the moderators everybody expects, as they tend to be, will probably come in and intervene on behalf of Joe Biden more than they do for Trump.
Yeah, one of the other advantages he has over Joe Kosher, of course, is he will actually know he's in a room, as opposed to Joe Biden, who probably hasn't got any clue where he is.
But Donald Trump won't let the subdued format disadvantage him. Joe Siracusa says the former president will be focusing on Joe Biden's cognitive decline during the debate.
Ability, and I think Biden will go after Trump's character. He'll call him a felon or something. But I'll tell you what, this thing will degenerate very quickly. I think both of these guys would like a knockout blow. They're not going to go the whole 15 rounds. They're going to just go at each other. And I think Trump, of course, who is unfettered and unrestrained, will say what he wants. And President Biden, who doesn't have his minders there, will have to go do by himself. And of course, you've seen President Biden from time to time just drift. You know, if he goes catatonic on that screen for 10 seconds, that will be the end of his presidential run. I mean, the Democratic Party will dump him on by Friday afternoon. So look, it's going to be a lot of fun, and American people will be watching. Now, if we